with this in life with the same philosophy. He wants to be the very best he can be in all areas, and that's honestly, kind of one of the things we preach in our program. And so he's just a very fine example of kind of what we talk about in our core beliefs and our core value system here at App State.
Yeah, it's always good to have young men like that in the program. It's one thing to be a great athlete. It's another thing to be a great student and lead the program in the classroom as well. And it definitely sounds like that is Will Formato for us. It's not easy, I'm sure, to be able to compete at this level and do and excel in the classroom at the same time. So that speaks volumes not only to the young man he is for himself, but for the leader that he is for our team.
Yeah, absolutely. He's stepped in the role as a captain this year, and he's doing a great job of leading by example. He's getting more vocal, but he cares about this program. It's not only is he getting better, but he's raising the level of the guys around him as well. And I think that as he continues to mature and to grow in that leadership role, and continues to elevate the guys around him, hopefully. We won't, people won't be surprised when a lot of our guys are beating top ranked guys. And, I think, be quite frank with you, I feel like our team's a little bit disrespected in the rankings for the team rankings. And also a lot of our guys are disrespected in the individual rankings. But like I tell our guys every day, I was like, the only ranking that matters is the last one. And, we don't care. We're not going to pay attention to those things. It doesn't change what we do or who we are. We feel confident in our ability to compete. And, if anything, I hope it kind of motivates our guys a little bit. They have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder because they feel like they get slighted all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way that you do about that. Let them keep underestimating. Let people not to expect what's coming when you guys step into the gymnasium and face them, especially the guys that we send out on the mat. That to me, you send out a kid that doesn't make the rankings against the number 7 guy, and like I said, blanked him. That's always good, and it always looks good being a fan when you can boast those conversations as well. So proud to be a Mountaineer and happy to have Will on our squad. That's for sure, because he's definitely doing well this season already. Coach, we're gonna go chat with Will here in just a second. Any parting shots? Anything you'd like to get out? Let the fans know before you guys take to the to Varsity Gym on Sunday.
No, just a reminder that they can tune in to our matches on Rokfin on Sunday. This team is continuing to grow and improve and get better. And if you want to support us, it's a great way to do it. We've got a fan store. If you go to our, we've got an App State wrestling gear on Instagram page. So if you want to order any app gear, that's a great way to do it to support the program. And, we appreciate all our fans and all those that are following, this program. And we're going to continue to keep working and, hopefully make a showing that all you guys are proud of every time we step out on the mat.
Yeah, for sure, Coach. What's the fan situation, the attendance situation going to be on Sunday? Do we know that yet?
Yeah, it's going to be very small, kind of like it has been, mainly just parents, from teams and, pretty small, fan numbers there in varsity. So, it's unfortunate. It's obviously not what our guys are used to. We're used to coming out of that tunnel and having a packed gym and a rowdy crowd. And, we can't wait to get back to that environment because that's one of the staples and one of the things we pride ourselves on at App State is having such a tremendous environment to compete in. I know our guys get motivated by it, and I think it's because we put a good product on the mat. Our program is really, it's entertaining to watch, and we get after it and compete hard, and I think that's something that fans like to see. And so, it's going to be a little different not having that gym packed, but you gotta still find a way to create your own energy in there.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be good to see you guys back in competition. Coach, we definitely appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to packing Varsity Gym again as well, just so you know. There's nothing like being in Varsity Gym when that thing is rocking, and App State wrestling is beating up on people. That's the highlight of my week, to be honest with you. I love being there to watch.
Yeah, me too.
Especially when a Duke comes to town and just walks away with a complete whooping. That is always a highlight of the season for me. So, yeah, it's fun to see, and we're looking forward to packing up Varsity Gym as well, Coach. Coach, appreciate your time. Looking forward to maybe seeing you sometime tomorrow when we go to move some equipment in there. So, thanks for joining us, and looking forward to chatting with Will here.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night.
All right, Will, you're up, man. How's things been this season, and how's the training going in the off season with the unorthodox off season that you guys had?
It's going good so far. Season's been really fun, even though it's been condensed and it started a little late. But as well as off-season training, it was honestly not bad. It was in some ways better than what you usually get in the off-season. We usually have camps, and we have one competition usually, and then there's kind of some off time and stuff. But I feel like because of COVID, I ended up getting a lot more specialized training in on stuff that I needed to do, and I think it worked out for the best. I think it got a lot better this summer.
Nice. We've got Will Formato, the most recent SoCon Wrestler of the Week and Student Athlete of the Week, that's joined us here on the grind, on the breakdown. Go ahead and give us a retweet, a share, a like, a subscribe, wherever you're at. Come over to Rokfin and check us out there. Give us a thumbs up on the Rokfin stream. It's always if you're a fan of wrestling, you can't go wrong on Rokfin. There is a lot of wrestling content over on Rokfin right now, and that platform is exploding. I will tell you, don't be surprised where Rokfin's at in a year or so. Great platform that is absolutely taken wrestling content, online content by storm right now. Will, it's been great to follow your career at App State already. You've done fairly well already, and I know you're looking forward to this season. What are some challenges that you faced in the off season with kind of that unorthodox finish at the end of last year, and then really, I mean, most people that are sports fans probably don't realize, but wrestlers, like, they train and compete year round. I mean, just because it's summer doesn't mean that you guys aren't training. So what was that like to go, not being able to make the NCAAs and go to that and do that sort of thing and miss out on that, to now, no competition at all in the summertime? I mean, it was completely on your guys' shoulders, to now you're like thrown right in the mix. You're going to compete 2 teams Thursday or 2 teams Sunday. You're going to have another 2 teams the following week. I mean, it's stacked up in competition, in conference competition. What's been some of the challenges that you faced through all of this?
I mean, I don't know. Challenges wise, I mean, obviously there were the obvious challenges of the quarantine and needing to stay inside and stuff like that. But I mean, I think it was just one of those situations where you had to be accountable for yourself, and you had to always keep your goals in front of you. And I think our team did a really good job of that, from what I can tell. I mean, we always met every Tuesday on a call like this, and always made sure we kept our goals in front of us. And I mean, no matter what the situation is, you can always find a way to get better. And it was definitely a time where you had to, or else you fell behind. And you can kind of see some guys did fall behind, and some guys kind of got better from it. So you just had to hold yourself accountable, which is something I'm okay with. I'm pretty confident in the amount of work I put in during that time, and I'm pretty happy with how it all went, honestly, even though the situation was pretty rough. I think I found a lot of different ways to get better, and I think the coaches and our team did a lot to make sure we were still at that level, if not more, by the time we came back and we're ready for all this.
Yeah, it had to be a rough ending to the last season to begin with. That had to be a challenge for you in that aspect of it personally, but to persevere through all of this and to step back out on the mat, really, I mean, there's a few of them, but you're one of the very few that seem to really missed a beat. I mean, you stepped right back into that level of competition like the Will Formato that we knew at the end of last season. How is that transition felt for you? Have you been happy with where you started at the competition this season? Do you feel like you're improved of what we're seeing, or is it is there some weaknesses that you wished you could have overcame, but you haven't been able to get to that level yet? You definitely doesn't appear that you've missed much of a beat.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different levels to that. I feel like I definitely have gotten better at some things I wanted to get better at. I've bulked up a little more, gotten a little stronger, and I have a lot more confidence in myself than I did last year that I kind of found at the end of last season. But I mean, there's always stuff I can improve on, and there's a lot of stuff that when you go back, you watch film and you're in the room, it gets exposed, and you have to find a way to work on it. So I think I wouldn't say I'm not where I definitely nowhere near where I want to be. And I think I started our first competition a little slower than what I was capable of. But I'm happy with the work we're putting in right now. And I'm hoping that I can just stay consistent, keep these matches rolling, and just keep getting better, beating myself every week on my performance.
Yeah, that's good, man. I know you had big expectations in the SoCon, probably a little bit of a letdown in that. Start of this season is a little bit slower, like you said, than I think you expected. But Friday, man, you poured it on Friday. Friday, when I watched you on the mat Friday, I was like, man, that is the Will Formato that I kind of remember anticipating coming out on the mat. And to be able to see that type of, to see you put together a performance like that had to feel good personally. But I will tell you, as a fan, I'm completely excited now about what this season could bring for you and the team, because I think that there's obviously some gaps in our lineup this season that we definitely didn't have to face last season. So making sure that we have that consistency across the weight classes that we can get it on is going to be pretty important, especially in the SoCon competition, because every point matters. Especially with some of these high-level teams that we're going to face in the SoCon.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the win was definitely awesome. It was a really fun duel, honestly. I think we could have won that duel with what we had. I think there's no doubt about it. But, I mean, like Bentley said, me and Thomas were both super excited after we came off the mat, and Bentley kind of pulled us aside and was like, look, like I expected this. Like that wasn't an upset. Like, I know you're excited. I'm glad you're excited. Like, but I'm just kind of like, that was what I expected. And that's kind of what the mentality we all have to take in the competition is, we expect to win every match, no matter what their name is, what their rank is, where they're from. And then I think that also goes for competition that aren't like that. Like I definitely was happy with the performance I put on last weekend, but I got to be able to do that against opponents that aren't ranked number 7, that don't get me super amped up to where I feel like I have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So that's kind of the biggest challenge for our team and for myself.
Yeah, and just being a realist, that faces us this weekend, right? I mean, Sunday you're going to step on the mat against kids that will maybe never ever see a ranking or even come close to it. It's what we, kind of the fans refer to as traps, right? You get a team that's high powered, or you get a wrestler that's just come off a big win, and you could step out on that mat and be surprised by somebody that was lower in the rankings than you to begin with. So definitely you're facing that. You're facing that week 1 in the SoCon, man. So make sure that focus is definitely there. Looking forward to seeing that competition. Will, tell us a little bit. We're going to not talk so much wrestling now, but tell us a little bit about your time in Boone. What brought you to App State, and what got your attention for App, and how'd you end up here?
Well, that's a funny story. Well, first of all, I didn't really have a lot of offers for Division I. Definitely not any like big money offers or anything like that. I was mainly looking at like D3, D2, and AIA type schools. And I actually came up here for a specialized camp in the summer of my junior year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, junior year. And I wore a Chattanooga shirt the first day because I actually we did high school camps at UTC, like my whole high school except for the last year, or actually I think it was the last year too. And so I wore that. I don't know. I honestly don't even know why I wore it. Like I just kind of like didn't care, didn't think about it. And of course, Bentley immediately like took notice of that and was like giving me grief about wearing it and stuff like that. And then I don't know, I wrestled at that camp, and Bentley was, sick some of the college guys on me to see how I would react. And then actually wrestled with me himself while I was here, and just, I mean, absolutely destroyed me up and down the mat. And I was like, yeah, surely now he knows. Like, I'm no wonder he hasn't been looking for me or anything. But then it turned out he actually was interested in me, and he followed me through the rest of the year, my senior year. And I came on a visit near the end of my senior year. And I mean, once you go to Boone, there's really no other option, it seems like, for me. It's such a beautiful place. I love it here. And I mean, the team's awesome. The wrestling's awesome, atmosphere. So I was hooked immediately. I knew I had to come here, and I'm just appreciative for that opportunity, because I really didn't deserve it at the time. Like, I was not at that level or anywhere close to most of the other recruits that came in at my class. So it was interesting, but yeah, that's how I ended up in this awesome place.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme with a lot of the wrestlers, especially with a lot of the guys that end up doing great things for the program, is coming to a camp, not really having expectations that you're going to end up wrestling at App State, but Coach JohnMark finding those diamonds in the rough, those guys that just haven't had a chance to develop yet, and bringing them into the team. So that seems to be a common thread. So a little bit about the camps. Do you like the camp? Your perspective, would you rather be a camper, or your side as a student athlete putting on the camps? What's your take on that?
That's pretty tough, because there's definitely pros and cons for both. As a camper, you think it's really hard, and you think it's a super hard camp, and you're exhausted and stuff like that, but you don't realize how much goes into it behind the scenes, and how much time. I mean, when you're a counselor, you're doing all the same sessions with them. You might not be doing the technique, but you're helping show moves, you're helping go around, make sure they know it. And then after that, you have like a practice during that day, and then you come back and you do all the sessions with them, and then you stay up late that night doing dorm duty. So a lot more goes into it than I think as a high school wrestler you realize, like how exhausting it is for the actual counselors. But I mean, it's awesome being a counselor. A lot of the kids look up to you, and you get to help a lot of kids out. And I ended up becoming friends with a lot of them, and I keep up with them today. But it's pretty fun as a wrestler too in high school. I mean, you get to see all these college wrestlers, and you get to learn technique and duel in these like matches that don't really matter, but you just kind of get scrapped. So it's fun on both sides, but there's also some cons on both sides.
Nice. Let's talk about what you enjoy about Boone. What are some things you do in Boone when you're not wrestling, which obviously for you guys isn't often. You're usually always competing or always training, but what are some things that Will Formato enjoys about Boone other than wrestling and App State?
I mean, I like a lot of things depending on the season. Winter is kind of this time of month is kind of the toughest, because there's really not a lot to do outside. I actually love snowboarding and skiing, but obviously that's not allowed at this time of year. But during the summer, I mean, it's tons of fun. Me and my roommate Barrett like to hike. He's a lot bigger hiker than I am, but he takes me out sometimes, shows me some really cool hikes. And then we have a lot of swimming holes and cliff jumping spots. It's kind of a staple for our team. We love to go to, and I'm always down to go to those. It's really fun. But other than that, it's just hanging out with all the guys on the team. I mean, we have a really close team. I'm pretty much everybody on the team is friends. We all hang out all the time. So it's it's a lot of fun no matter what you're doing. But summertime's definitely the place to be. And I feel bad for people that go to here as students that aren't athletes, that kind of come during fall when it's beautiful, and then it turns to winter and it gets slushy, and then spring's beautiful, and then they go home, but they don't really get to experience when Boone's its best, which is in the summer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, being a fan of snowboarding, I'm sure you haven't got to do much of that since you've been in Boone. I'm sure that's completely off limits for you at this time of the year.
Yeah, no, that would be really bad. But oh man, it is so tempting.
I bet it is. Yeah, hiking in the swimming holes is fairly popular up here as well. There's a lot of swimming holes for sure. Definitely not something you're doing today or tomorrow. It's supposed to be chilly and a little bit more snow on the ground, I think, before we go to bed tomorrow. So definitely a great summertime activity. Talking to Will Formato, of App State Wrestling on the breakdown tonight. Will's put on a show. He put on a clinic on Friday, earned him the SoCon Wrestler of the Week, and he also was given the SoCon Student Athlete of the Week. So Will's not only good. Will not only beat you up on the mat, but he's going to break your heart in the classroom as well. So got a great all-around student athlete that's joined us today. Go ahead and give us a share, a retweet, wherever you're at. Chime in on Rokfin if anybody's jumped over there. Give us a thumbs up over there. We'd love to see that. Help us get some traction over there. Will, got a big competition coming up on Sunday. Bellarmine, I think is how they pronounce that school name, and Davidson coming to town. We obviously aren't going to go out and eat some big greasy cheeseburgers between now and then, but after that match is over with, after that tri-meet is over with, what's the burger in town that we could find Will Formato partaking of after Sunday?
Oh man, I eat everything. I love all food, but I actually don't eat burgers very often. But if I had to choose a place, you got to go Comeback Shack, right? I mean, that's like the Boone staple, and honestly, I feel like they live up to the hype. I think I've only had it like 3 times, but every single time I've had it, I've been impressed with how good it was.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in the number of guys that I've spoken to on this platform that haven't said Comeback Shack, to be honest with you. I've gotten a lot. I think I've got a few Makotos or whatever, and I think there's been a couple of other staples. But you may be, if I'm not mistaken, you might be one of the first that have said Comeback Shack, and I will tell you, that's a phenomenal burger. It's the best burger in town. I
can't believe that. I thought you were about to say you were disappointed in how many people have said Comeback Shack, that we pretty much all agreed, but that's surprising now. I thought that was just like a must.
Yeah, it is definitely, man. The burgers, the fries, there's really not much that Comeback Shack misses out on. I mean, those guys do a great job. What's the style of burger that you're getting?
Oh God, I can't remember what it's called. It has like avocado on it and an onion and tomato. I mean, I like my burger with everything. I always give people grief that don't eat like tomatoes, onions, mushrooms, stuff like that, about how they're like children. They don't really eat real food, but yeah. I love all that kind of stuff on mine.
Yeah, for sure. All out. Just put the whole kitchen sink on it, and that's the way you should take a burger. I had a burger
called the kitchen sink, which did have just about everything on it, and it was wonderful. So I'm into it.
Nice. So are you a coffee drinker? Obviously, most of the staff is coffee drinkers. Have you picked up the coffee habit?
I have not, actually. I've never really gotten into coffee in my entire life, and I've tried like 3 times to kind of pick it up, but I don't think caffeine really works on my body. Most energy drinks don't work, and coffee just doesn't do it for me. I did have, when I was watching film with Coach Bentley this week, I got to try out Coach Miller's famous blueberry coffee that he drinks, and it tasted great, but it wasn't worth it for me. I don't feel the help it brings everyone else.
Wait a minute. Ian Miller drinks blueberry coffee?
Oh, he does, and he's gotten everybody into it. It's amazing. I mean, it honestly tastes really good. And I don't even really prefer the taste of coffee that much, but it tastes great. And I guess everybody was giving him grief about it, and they tried it, and we were like, wow. So he kind of brought a new trend on.
I cannot wait to talk to Coach.
He doesn't mind me opening up that can of worms and exposing his coffee.
I cannot wait to talk to Coach Miller after this, for sure. I didn't know Ian was a blueberry coffee guy, but that's interesting. That's good to know. But I will tell you, the longer you can avoid it. Because once you cross that bridge, and once you wake up at 5, 6 in the morning and you have to get a cup of coffee, life is just never the same without it. So
that's what it seems to be. That's why it seems like a trap, honestly. I might have to just stay away forever. But
yeah, man, it's definitely one of those crutches that you don't want to have to lean on. So that's good. Well, we want to ask you what your coffee spot is, because it sounds like if you're going to do coffee, it's going to be Coach Ian's blueberry coffee.
I will say, actually, I have had a really good cup of coffee at E-News. Brad Irwin and Cody Russell put me on to E-News, and I got it. I still didn't like it that much as coffee, but it tasted great. So I'll throw that spot out if anybody wants to check that out.
Yeah, Enu's is pretty good. They do pretty good coffee. So we've talked burgers, we've talked coffee. What's your chicken spot in town?
Oof, that's tough. I mean, Zaxby's is always solid, and Chick-fil-A, but I don't know, honestly. I would say Zaxby's probably. It depends on the meal. If I'm trying to feel a little healthier, I'll get like a grilled chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A, but if I'm trying to go all out, I get the wings and things from Zaxby's, and that's like 1,400 calories of pure bliss.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Zaxby's put out some pretty good chicken. I'm kind of there's not a big Bojangles crowd in the program, is there?
I actually have only had it once, and I was talking to some of my teammates about this the other day. Mason Vasella specifically is a big Bojangles fan. Actually, we have a couple on the team that are really big Bojangles fans, but I always kind of imagined it as like this super low tier chicken spot, like way below Chick-fil-A and Zaxby's. They swear it's not as bad as what I imagine in my head.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Bojangles. That's kind of the North Carolina thing, right? It's hard to say you're not from North Carolina or not a North Carolina resident if you're not a Bojangles fan.
Yeah, I didn't really know that was a thing. I also tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich that everybody went crazy for like a year ago, and it lived up to the hype and then some. I've always been a preacher of that chicken sandwich is amazing.
Nice. Unfortunately, there's not a Popeyes in Boone.
Sadly not. Yeah. That is disappointing.
But one thing Boone does have is pizza. What is your pizza spot in Boone?
That's another thing I don't really eat as much as I probably could. I mean, I guess it depends. If I'm going to go like fast food pizza, like kind of quick, I definitely do Domino's. But if I wanted to get like really good pizza, you got to go Mellow Mushroom. Their specialty pizzas are amazing. We take some of the recruits there whenever I host, and the coaches take us all out, and it is amazing every time.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a good Mellow Mushroom pizza. Those guys put on a pretty good one. They've got a new one that's kind of like a Cuban sandwich that is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, if you like Cuban sandwiches, you got to try.
I do like Cuban sandwiches, but I don't even know how that would translate to a pizza. But I'm in because I've tried all their other ones, and except for like the vegetarian one. But other than that, they're all pretty solid.
Yeah, I ordered pizza. I was in charge of ordering pizza about 3 weeks ago, I guess it was. I pulled up the menu on my phone and seen ham. What else was on it? Pickles, mustard. I mean, I was like,
mustard was going to be on there because that's kind of the staple. But I just thought surely that would not be on the pizza.
Oh yeah. And I'm kind of like you. I like a good Cuban, so I had to. And I had to be honest with you, I've not had a bad pizza from Mellow Mushroom. So you had to try it, right? It's just one of those things. If they're doing it, you got to try it. Man, it was phenomenal. It's worth it. Give it a shot the next time you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that one out.
Yeah. So another popular treat amongst the team seems to be ice cream. Are you an ice cream guy? Do you go down to the Hershey spot or any of the other spots in town to grab a ice cream? Do you have a favorite ice cream shop?
I am definitely a dessert guy. Like I love dessert after like a solid meal, and I don't really go to those like real ice cream shop spots, but cookout milkshakes are always a solid way to throw about 1,000 calories on you in a very small amount of time. And I love that. I love actually Publix has their like dessert section. They have these pastries and all this stuff. I mean, whenever I go hard on desserts, I know where to go. Those are my top 2 spots.
Nice. Yeah. Cookout shakes, man. Those are at least 1,000 to 1,200 calories a piece with everything that they put in those things. They don't just come. I don't even think you can get just like a regular vanilla shake there. Can you? It's gotta be like,
no, I mean, I just remember I get like the peach cobbler or the banana fudge. I looked up the nutrition facts on it one time. I don't know why. And I was like disturbed by the facts on the peach cobbler one. I mean, it was really bad. Like way worse than you even think about when you exaggerate. Like it was bad.
Yeah, I bet it was. I definitely know what it's like to watch calories. Are you a guy that has to watch what you eat a lot, or are you a guy that can kind of eat and still make weight?
Well, it used to be last year. I mean, I had to eat like huge meals the day before weigh-ins just to weigh like 164. But this year I've gotten a little better. I kind of have to cut down the eating a day or two before. But I'm definitely by no means having to struggle to make weight or anything. But I do have to kind of find a balance of I got to keep my weight up, but I can't just eat garbage. I got to try to find a balance of getting a lot of calories that aren't just horrible for your body so that I don't die. Practice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably more of a fuel and a recovery thing than really a calorie issue, it sounds like then. So at that level and the level of competition, that's probably more important for you right now than the calories, it sounds like. So I can appreciate that. Will, it's been a pleasure to chat with you tonight and get to know you a little bit more, and hopefully the fans have got to know you a little bit more than just the Will Formato that beats up on people on the mat.
Yeah, I mean, it was a ton of fun. The questions were awesome. I'm always down to talk about food at any time. Yeah, I appreciate what you do for the team and this all this stuff you put on. I know this isn't your main job, and so it's definitely got to be something you got to kind of make a lot of time for. And of course, we all appreciate that and the advertising you do for our team.
Yeah, man, definitely appreciate your guys' cooperation with it. It's always good. It's well overdue, to be honest with you, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So we'll take the ball and run with it. Will Formato, appreciate your time, man. Look forward to watching you beat up on some opponents on Sunday. That's gonna be a show for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing you step on that mat, and best of luck, man. I look forward to watching your success this season.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support and all the following and everything, and hope everybody tunes in on Sunday and we can put out a better team performance and individual performance than we did last week. So I'm excited, and hopefully everybody else is too.
Yes, sir. Appreciate your time and have a good night.
Awesome. Thank you. You too.
Always great. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Talking to Coach JohnMark Bentley and all the staff is I definitely appreciate their time. But I will tell you, for me personally, there's nothing better than talking to our student athletes. It is absolutely a treat for me and a pleasure to get to know these guys and to get their stories out there as much as we can. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. Check us out on Rokfin. We'll be there for Sunday. The stream will start just before 1 p.m., and we'll provide some wrestling content. It's going to be fun. Going to be a great Sunday for competition. It'll be good to see the guys back out there competing like they're going to do. I know they'll be jacked to get back out there. So check us out on Rokfin. That's where we'll be. Go give us a follow and a subscribe over there if you will. That'd be much appreciated. You can also check out our Patreon. A bunch of supporters. We've got the wrestling room that we have set up for the Grind Patreon members. We do give some secrets away in there every once in a while, and a little bit of maybe some information coming out a little bit before it's made official. So go check us out there if you're interested in being a part of that. We've got some alumni in there. We've got some people that's been on staff in there. Great place whether you're a family of a wrestler in the program or you're an up-and-coming wrestler. Great content in there and a great place to network with the people that's been in part of the program. So appreciate you tuning in. Have a great night, and go Apps.
This has been a production by Yosef Media.